know any better, you would think Errol Spence's team hates him, but we do know better. We do know better, and as you said, they do love their fighter just like that father loved his son. It's just they get caught up in the moment, they get caught up in the emotion of it, 100%. And they don't think rationally anymore. And that's sort of what's happening here. I'm on the same page as you, Teddy. I don't want to see the rematch. I've been talking about that. I don't want to see the rematch. I don't think there's a necessity for the rematch. This is how boxing ends up getting a bad name. It gets a good name for making that fight where everybody finally was waiting for it. It got made, where boxing doesn't make a lot of the fights it needs to. Now all of a sudden, you've signed a 2-fight deal. Why? I'm noticing this whole trend lately where guys sign 2-fight deals even before they fight one time. It used to be that a rematch would have to be mandated by public demand. Now all of a sudden you're seeing guys sign 2-fight deals even before they fought one time.
And look, I know they're good people that are behind Spence. I know they don't hate the kid, but really, I think it's just something that has to be rethinked a little bit. And definitely not for a while. Even if you go that route, not for a while. Let him rest. And I mean not even in the gym, sparring. I don't mean just in a fight. Give him the rest that he needs.
Paulie Malignaggi and Teddy Atlas weighs in on the Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence rematch. Paulie Malignaggi goes on to say, if the rematch happens, it's a black eye on boxing. Hey yo, what up you guys? It's your boy Boxing Fanatic, back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe for the latest and greatest content. Wow. So, Paulie Malignaggi and Teddy Atlas, Paulie Malignaggi do these things in a rematch to be successful. But you're a fighter. You should know. Teddy Atlas, he was a trainer, so he should give some insights on what could happen in the next fight. Not just turn the fight down just because the fight, it ended the way it did. That doesn't mean the next fight will be the same way. No one can predict the future. No one is God. So, in the sport of boxing, anything can happen in the sport of boxing. Anybody can have an off night. Like Errol Spence said, he was the better man. And we all seen that, I just think that Errol Spence didn't train properly. He didn't have the strength and conditioning coach that he normally trained with, Blu-ray. He didn't, I don't think he had no legs. I just don't think he, trained properly like how he was supposed to train. Not saying that Terrence Crawford didn't do some remarkable things in the ring to make it look one-sided or lopsided and had Errol Spence all over the place. It was just, he had no legs. Errol Spence had to come down so much weight to even make 147. He ballooned up after fights to 180, almost 190, and to drop 30 to 40 pounds and then try to fight at 147, you a skeleton walking around. You dehydrated, you weak. Your bottom half is weak. You got no legs. I mean, what you expect? But if he was motivated and not balloon back up and stay, in tune with itself and don't let itself get that big, maybe, he'll not have a fat camp. It'll just be more of a training camp, because you can't go into a training camp preparing for the biggest fight of your life and you losing weight. Why you doing it? No, that's not how it goes. You're supposed to already be in shape. So then when you get there, you can lose at least 10 pounds at the most, not 30, 40 pounds. That's a huge number to lose, and expect for you to have strength, expect for you to have power, expect for you to be strong, expect for you to just be on top of your game. That's not going to happen. And then, you just gotta take certain fights, all fights, not certain fights, but all fights like it's your last fight. Like you can walk in the ring one way and walk out, and you may not even walk out the ring. So that's why you gotta have that killer be killed mentality. You gotta prepare like it's your last. You going in this fight knowing that, hey, look, this man coming to do something to me, I gotta do something to him. So I'm gonna prepare and get myself right to the best of my abilities, like how he did when he had Blu-ray in his corner for Sean Porter, you know, and Amir Khan. Not Amir Khan, but Chris Algieri. You know, he had Blu-ray in his corner. You can tell, you can look at his physique. You know, he was on point. And I just think that by Paulie Malignaggi and Teddy Atlas going off the way that they doing is, you know, they basically turning the fight down. Of course, you know, these networks may not want to fight, but it is what it is. The rematch is going to happen. There's no way around it unless they're going to be paying out, you know, huge money to Errol Spence. But I just look at it like, you know, Errol Spence can do something different in this next fight. You know, he just gotta go back and study the film. Look how he looked in the first fight. You know, he gotta go in there with an open mind. He gotta study the film and study Crawford, and then see how can he improve on his game. You know, even though he was already 10 steps behind Crawford, because you can see the difference between the speed, the difference between the power, the difference between the lateral movement, the difference between the counter punching, the difference between the skills, the difference between the knowledge and the IQ, the difference between overall seeing everything happening while it's unfolding right in front of him. I just think that Errol Spence, he didn't take Terrence Crawford seriously like how he should have. Like, he should have been on point, you know, a year, the time he had been waiting, you know, and he just been at 180 pounds, 170 pounds, not in shape. He should have, you know, you got to cut back on the eating, slide back. You know, you got to diet right. You know, you can't go into a training camp and it's a fat camp where you losing weight. It's a weight loss camp. No, man, you gotta do what's right. You know, every training camp that you go out, you gotta prepare right, and that can be with, you know, strength and conditioning, bringing in somebody to cook, you know, having extra eye. Could he be better in this next fight? Yeah. With Paulie Malignaggi and Teddy Atlas had the same, you know, feeling if Errol Spence become victor in this rematch. Would they still stand on their square, or would they jump ship again? I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think, all right? Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. One love, one life. I'm out. Peace.
If you enjoy content like this and you want to see more, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.